you in our subsequent bulletins. But for now, back to you.
All right, Jimmy, thank you so much for that piece of information that we have been following since the morning. All right, now we are getting to the conversation, and earlier on I had told you we are talking about mortgage financing, and joining me is Stella Karoki, who is the product manager assets. When you talk about assets, we are talking about mortgage and secured loans at Absa Bank Kenya, and she's joining me. Thank you so much.
Karibu.
All right, and now let's get right into the conversation and even start with mortgage financing.
Okay.
When you talk about mortgage financing, what are we talking about? What do we mean?
Mortgage financing is basically the aspect of owning a house. So you could either construct a house or buy ready houses. So basically, we as a bank, we come in to step in and help you buy that house faster, and then you can be left paying us. It's just the same way you pay rent. So you can be left paying us for that loan that we've given unto you. Then you live in that house and you enjoy the facilities of a house. That can be done either by constructing or actually building one. Yes.
Thank you so much for that. And now, when you talk about construction, for example, I have just left campus, let's say last year, and this year I want to build, and I've just convinced myself that I want to build. So what is the eligibility for me getting a finance from for my mortgage?
Like all the other loans, the first criteria of eligibility is, do you have an income? So it could be you have an income, either a business you had started while you're in campus and you have enhanced it and you're doing well, or you've actually gotten a job. Actually, I encourage even those who have just gotten a job, so long as you finished your probation, then you can come to us and discuss mortgages, as opposed to discussing, you know, other small loans that will help you, and probably you won't account for that money. So the most important is that you have an income. That's the first eligibility criteria. And income can either be from salary or from business proceeds. Then from there, we'll come and discuss and see from that income you're making. Number one, we would not want you to commit all of it towards mortgage payment. So there has to be what you're going to use for normal running of the business or normal running of your, you know, household commitments, either food and stuff like that. That's even from a government perspective, they say you can only commit a third of your salary. So that one of the salary is what we are asking you. Can you commit towards a loan repayment? Yes. And
in Kenya, as of now, and the population that is employed, when you look at mortgage and then the percentage of people who have taken mortgage and they've maybe taken mortgage finances, what is the balance between those who are employed and those who are not employed?
Of course, even for those who are employed, the percentage is very, very small. And I guess that's why the government is coming in to demystify that notion about a mortgage. Because previously, I think even when I was growing up, I thought a mortgage has to be one gotten by somebody who is very rich and earns a lot of money.
Yes.
But when you look at, and when we look at mortgage, it's actually, do you know many people actually get an unsecured loan to go buy or build a house? Which in some areas, they don't enjoy the full mortgage facility because number one, if you get a mortgage, you get a longer tenor to pay for that loan. So you're able to pay it in small. So that's what even the government has stepped in to say, we would want to increase the number of people who are getting mortgages. And let's not have the notion that a mortgage is one who is getting for 50 million or 60 million or 200 million. But now they're coming to say, we will finance you even to get a loan of 4 million towards a housing. So that's the notion people should demystify to understand that mortgage is like any other personal loan that you have. Yes.
And does, for the employed, when you're working under a contract, does this really affect, or how does it work?
In some way, it does a little bit because you won't have the extended tenor of 25 years. However, for us in Absa, we are very keen to lend to you even on contracts, especially if it's a contract that you've renewed once or twice. Then it's possible for us to actually extend the tenor a little bit longer, not just within your contract period. And this is subject to you coming to us and we discuss and you tell us where you're working, what the contract is, and then we'll discuss. If you're talking of a loan of 4 million, in most cases, that's a 4 million you'd have gotten to buy a car. Why can't you get it towards your own house?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's move on and look at a very major issue, which is credit worthiness.
Yes.
How does it go? Because how do you even evaluate the credit worthiness of an individual who wants to get a mortgage loan?
I think it's just the big buzzword of credit worthiness, but it's in most cases we are looking, if you have a salary, how much are you committing towards your day running? How much, of course there's the government statutory deductions that are there. Then we'll look at, do you have a family? Of course, are you living somewhere? How much goes to rent and school fees and stuff? And that's why even government has given us a guidance to say you can commit a third of your payment. So, and even for business customers, because we also lend to business customers. We also look at, of course, being a business customer, you have your own home running and you have your own business running. So what is the balance that is left? What is your subsidy that is left? Then we look at, can we commit that money towards a home running? If anything, when we commit towards a home running, it means we have removed a part of your utility bill because you will not pay rent anymore. So we'll only increase the repayment a bit, then you pay towards your owning your own house. Yes.
All right. Someone has come, they want to get the loan, they want to get the mortgage financing.
Yes.
They've said, okay, I want to buy a house.
Yes.
So what is the process? Do you have to see the documents to see, okay, this is the house that you're going to buy, this is the property, where is it situated? Explain to us about the process.
So basically, if I'm assuming you want to buy a ready-made house or you want to construct, so I'll cover both. If you actually want to buy a ready-made house, we will start first by saying, have you identified the house? Because in most cases, you have an idea where you would want to live or where you would want to own the house. Not necessarily live. You could own a house and live somewhere else different. And maybe that house you own will help you pay for your rent where you are. So where have you identified as the place you actually want to buy the house? And you of course, you have discussed with them on how much the selling price of the house is. And so you come to us and tell us, I've identified XYZ house. It's in this place. So you will bring for us documents, which basically, if your salary, you will bring for us just your pay slip, and we'll evaluate from your pay slip how much are you able to pay for that house. Are you able to pay on a monthly basis, which now will help, and also looking at your age. If you're a young person, it means you can afford to pay up to 25 years. If not, we will look how long can you pay, 20 years, 15 years. And so we'll spread the repayment, and we will discuss to see is that repayment comfortable with you. Then once that has been evaluated in terms of your affordability, then now we go to find out about the security, which is the house. Because now you also want to make sure you buy a house at a place that you'll not be told it's on the road reserve, or it didn't have good papers in terms of title deeds and stuff. So now we go to the securitization of the property.
Okay.
And once the securitization of the property is good and registered, then you have the house, and you start paying us the loan, and it's as simple as that.
All right.
If you want to construct, if I can cover a little bit, if you want to construct.
Construction.
So come to us, tell us, do you want we buy for you land, then construct for you? Or you already have purchased land, you just want we construct for you. Those are two options. So we can lend to you a secured loan. You go buy the property, then you come to us. We convert that loan into a mortgage, and we construct for your house. All you will need is to draw, of course, your drawing, to the preference of the house you would want. And then we go through the legal approvals of the building just to make sure they're okay. And then we progress just as I've discussed the loan for buying the house.
All right. I've gotten the loan. All right. Now, the typical interest rates of when you look at the mortgage loans in Kenya and the rates, the interest rates, how do they compare? And when you look at it, if someone who is getting maybe 20,000 as a salary. Are they also able to get this?
Okay, when we look at interest rates, especially, and I would want to compare them from a personal perspective.
Yes.
The personal loans and secured loans and mortgages.
Yes.
Of course, mortgages, the rates are way lower than the personal loans. Reason being, at least we are holding a security. So that also gives the bank or the financial comfort that you are likely not to default. And most cases people who buy houses rarely default on their loan, because you will have people kicking you out. So you don't want that embarrassment. Yes. So the rates from a mortgage perspective are slightly low. And even through the government, KMRC, there's something called KMRC, which is Kenya Remortgaging Financing. From the previous government, they had the Agenda 4 as one of the agendas to ensure there's affordable housing for everybody, which even the current government has actually adopted and said, and you have seen him push quite a bit for affordable housing to be there. So as APSA, we actually got, I think we have the highest loan amount we got from KMRC, and we are able to lend to customers. And that has helped to actually even reduce the interest further, because they have subsidized the interests. The government has subsidized the interest. So it's as low as 9.5. It's lower than, I guess, even staff members can get who work for banks. So that has helped to demystify about affordable housing, about owning a house, because even somebody in the rural areas, upcountry areas, can actually own a house, either by buying or constructing. Of course, most of the people in upcountry will do the construction, because there are not many houses to buy. But you'll be surprised, there are many people who are also coming to build, to sell, because they have realized there's that motivation of people to coming to buy. So yes, everybody can afford. And the interest rates now are favorable, because if you go the affordable rate, I mean, the rate is very low, If you go the normal mortgages, the rate is still not as high as compared to the personal loans. So, yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, even as we wrap up now, your parting shot, and what would you encourage someone who would want to get mortgage financing, and they've always had the notion of that's just for people who earn a lot of money?
Yes. I would encourage, and I wish everybody gets to hear, especially the young people, I would really encourage you to own a house. It's one thing that you will never regret in life. Whether you are owning to live in it or owning to rent it out, you will always have an asset at the end of the day. And don't be scared by the fact that you pay for a longer tenure. It's your preference. We only say up to 25 years. But if you came and told us you pay in 5 years, we won't stop you. And nobody will charge you anything for even paying it earlier. Let's all own houses.
Thank you so much, Stella. That is Stella Karoki, who has been explaining to us about mortgage financing. I believe you've been convinced enough to go and take that loan. All right, we are going to go for a short break. We'll be back with more. Don't go too far.